Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We see a bit of a dump here before the weekly candle close. I talked about it in today's video and yesterday as we broke the trend line here that we had on the chart to the downside. It made the scenario quite likely that we wouldn't get into this wave 3 target area any longer. Or at least it raised the probability for that, and that we could get straight away into wave 4 area. So it would have been a very short wave 5 of 3. Possible because it pushed above the previous wave 3. So absolutely possible that this wave, which started down here as a 5-wave move, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was already finished. And we missed the target by $30 or something, right? A bit more. But it's unfortunate. It's always a bit annoying, but that is what it was, what it is. So it's a very short wave 5. Not ideal, not very likely, but happens sometimes. And it seems like we are already on our way now into the wave 4 target area. That means I'm still expecting at least one more push here to the upside in wave 5. Now, there's a few things to mention here that are very important. So, first of all, if we assume that this is the case, then we should now get into the region between 2,515 and 19,875. If we lose the 19,875 level, the entire scenario will have to be rethought. But you know that I have another scenario on the chart as well, on another chart that I'm going to show you, which works out a little bit differently. But in this scenario as well, I do still expect short-term further upside, at least at the moment. We can draw here a trend line. There's two different ways of drawing a trend line. There's one here. We only have 2 touch points at the moment, but this one goes straight through this target area. And basically goes straight through the 38.2% fib retracement, which would be an ideal level for a fourth wave. And that would be at 20,160. That is something to keep an eye on. And the other trend line is this one here, which probably has just been broken, as it seems. This has been broken. So that would be a further confirmation that we are heading down further. And to be honest, we actually reached the target area already, didn't we? Maybe missed it by $10 or something. So I would consider that reached, which means now we need to get ready and say at any moment we could turn around already, but there is currently no sign for a bottom. So I think as long as this is carrying on to the downside, making lower lows, lower highs, we're not going to see a reversal here. Always interesting and important is to draw a trend line in these cases. Here where you can, because it gives you an indication when the trend is changing. Here we changed from an uptrend into a short-term downtrend. And when this trend line is broken to the upside, it will be an indication that we are already heading up in wave 5. So I gave you the key support levels here. Still further upside expected, but probably after some more short-term downside. Now, there is another scenario that I showed you before where we consider the Bitcoin chart to be in a triangle. And that would make total sense as well, because we looked at the possibility that all of this movement, since June is a massive triangle, A, B, C. We're currently in the C wave. There will be a D wave down and an E wave up. That would be a bearish scenario where we will still see one more leg down, but it allows for further upside. And to be honest, looking at the current wave count, I like this a little bit better. It makes a bit more sense. I would consider that we bottomed out here in a wave X triangle that was here. So the wave X itself was a triangle, right? And that we bottomed here on the 23rd of October. We then moved up in a wave A, which is a 5-wave move. Just to show you that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we came down in a B wave, which also makes sense to me because in the previous scenario that I showed you here, we came down a little bit too low, a tiny bit too low. So for the wave B, however, it would have been fine. So it makes kind of sense. And now we would be moving up in a wave C of Y of C. And the behavior of the chart makes sense. Yeah, because you could say that this was a wave 1. This current quite strong sell-off makes sense as well, because it could be a wave 2. Next, we would expect a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. So this retracement will now tell us a lot. Well, it wouldn't still be, we probably would still not be able to really understand the difference between both scenarios, really, because even here in this wave 4, it allows for coming down to 19,875, whereas you wouldn't even in this scenario come down that low. In this 1-2 setup, we should get into the region between 20,540, which we perfectly reached just now, 50% level, and the golden ratio would be 20,415, and the 78.6 retrace would be 20,234. So in this scenario, ideally, I want it to reverse in this area between the 78.6 and the 50% retrace, and then move up in a wave 3. I think whatever we're doing next will give us a very good idea of which of these patterns is actually going to work out on what we're looking at. And if I look at this, sort of the wave 3 should then take us all the way up to above 22K actually. So yeah, it will be interesting to see, because depending on how high we push in the next wave up, how far we down come now and how much we push up in the next wave up will tell us a lot about which of these two scenarios is actually more likely. And of course, we also have the bullish breakout pattern on the radar. That is a direct breakout, and that would indicate, however, a much more bullish potential. But we have to trade what's in front of us. We have to look at what's in front of us. And short term, I still expect higher prices. But yeah, short term, very short term, we could drop a bit lower in these areas that I gave you before we move up. So in summary, if we really go below 19,875, then we would really need to seriously rethink the higher level assumptions here. Okay. That's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership, and also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. There is always additional content there, and the channel member, or the links are actually in the video description. And tomorrow we have a member-only Halloween live stream, an additional one. So make sure you join that. If you want to consider to become a channel member, you can do that on YouTube, and you can find the links in the description for that as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.